In the small village of Abeni, life was simple and peaceful. The villagers knew each other, and everyone shared in the joy and struggles of life. At the heart of the village was a small school, where children gathered every day to learn. The school was a modest building made of clay bricks, but it was a place of great hope. One of the students at the school was a boy named Billy. Billy was a bright and curious child, always eager to learn. However, his family was very poor. His mother, Susan, worked hard selling vegetables at the market, but it was never enough. Billy often came to school without books, and his clothes were worn and tattered. One day, during recess, the school's head teacher, Ms. Melissa, noticed Billy sitting alone under a tree, looking sad. She approached him and asked, "Billy, why are you sitting here all by yourself?" Billy looked up, trying to hide his tears. "Ms. Melissa, I want to study hard and become a doctor someday, but I don't even have proper books to read." Ms. Melissa felt a pang of sorrow for the young boy. She had always admired Billy's determination and intelligence. She decided she had to do something to help him. That evening, after all the students had gone home, Ms. Melissa went to the school storage room. She gathered some old but still usable books, a few notebooks, and some pencils. The next day, Ms. Melissa called Billy to her office. When he walked in, she handed him a small bundle wrapped in cloth. "Billy, these are for you. I hope they help you in your studies." Billy's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. "Thank you, Ms. Melissa. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me." Weeks went by, and Billy's performance in class improved greatly. He was more confident and eager to participate. Ms. Melissa felt proud of the little help she could offer. However, one day after school, something unexpected happened. As Ms. Melissa was preparing to leave, she saw a luxurious car pull up in front of the school gate. It was a rare sight in the humble village of Abeni. A tall, elegantly dressed man stepped out of the car and walked towards the school. He had an air of authority and importance about him. Ms. Melissa watched curiously as he approached. To her astonishment, he headed straight to where Billy was standing. "Billy," the man called out warmly. Billy ran to the man and hugged him tightly. "Uncle Jacob, you're here." Ms. Melissa stood in shock, trying to comprehend what was happening. Who was this man, and how did he know Billy? Uncle Jacob smiled and ruffled Billy's hair. He then turned to Ms. Melissa and said, "Good evening, ma'am. My name is Jacob, and I am Billy's uncle. I live in the city, but I came to visit the family. I heard about how you have been helping Billy with his studies. Thank you so much for your kindness." Ms. Melissa was speechless for a moment. She finally managed to say, "It's my pleasure. Billy is a bright student, and he deserves all the support he can get." Uncle Jacob nodded. "I agree, and I want to ensure he has everything he needs to succeed. I'll be taking him to the city with me. There, he will have access to better resources and opportunities." Ms. Melissa felt a mixture of emotions. She was happy for Billy, but also worried about what this change would mean for him. "Will he come back to visit?" she asked. Uncle Jacob smiled reassuringly. "Of course he will. Abeni will always be his home." As Ms. Melissa watched them leave, she couldn't help but feel a sense of hope for Billy's future. She knew that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey for the young boy. Billy looked back at his beloved village and his dear teacher. He waved goodbye, his heart filled with excitement and a little bit of sadness. He knew he was about to embark on a new adventure, but he would never forget the kindness of Ms. Melissa and the small village that had shaped his dreams. As Billy and Uncle Jacob drove away from Abeni, Billy's mind raced with excitement and curiosity. The city was a place he had only heard about in stories, a world of endless possibilities. Uncle Jacob noticed Billy's wide eyes and smiled. "Don't worry, Billy. You'll love the city. It's different, but it's full of opportunities." The journey took several hours, and as they approached the city, Billy marveled at the tall buildings, the bustling streets, and the endless stream of cars. It was overwhelming but exhilarating. Uncle Jacob's home was a beautiful house in a quiet neighborhood. It was a stark contrast to the humble home Billy had known in Abeni. That evening, as Billy settled into his new room, Uncle Jacob sat down with him. "Billy, I want you to feel at home here. You are family, and I want to support your dreams. Tomorrow, we'll visit your new school. It's one of the best in the city, and I believe you'll thrive there." The next day, Uncle Jacob took Billy to his new school, Bright Future Academy. The school was large and modern, with state-of-the-art facilities. Billy felt a bit nervous, but also determined to make the most of this opportunity. At Bright Future Academy, Billy met his new teacher, Mrs. Ajoa. She was kind and welcoming, and she introduced Billy to his new classmates. The students were from different backgrounds, and Billy felt a bit out of place at first. However, his friendly nature soon won him new friends. One of his new friends, Quame, was particularly helpful. Quame was an excellent student and loved helping others. He showed Billy around the school, explained the lessons, and even shared his study notes. Billy was grateful and quickly adapted to the new environment. Despite the new challenges, Billy's determination and hard work paid off. He excelled in his studies, often surprising his teachers with his quick grasp of new concepts. His favorite subjects were science and mathematics, and he spent long hours in the school library, soaking up knowledge. However, life in the city wasn't without its difficulties. Billy missed his mother and the simple life in Abeni. He often thought about Ms. Melissa and the small school where his dreams had begun. Uncle Jacob noticed this and did his best to keep Billy's spirits high. He took him on weekend trips around the city, showing him parks, museums, and other interesting places. One Saturday, Uncle Jacob took Billy to a science fair at the city's main university. Billy was fascinated by the various exhibits, especially one that showcased a medical research project. As he listened to the researchers explain their work, Billy's dream of becoming a doctor grew even stronger. Back at school, Billy's teachers recognized his potential and encouraged him to join the science club. Under Mrs. Ajoa's guidance, Billy participated in various projects and competitions. His dedication and passion for learning impressed everyone. One day, Mrs. Ajoa approached Billy with exciting news. "Billy, there's a national science competition coming up, and I think you should represent our school. You've worked so hard, and this could be a great opportunity for you." Billy's eyes lit up with excitement. "Really, Mrs. Ajoa? That would be amazing. I'll do my best." As Billy prepared for the competition, he spent even more time studying and experimenting. Quame and his other friends cheered him on, offering support and encouragement. The day of the competition arrived, and Billy felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The event was held in a large auditorium filled with students from all over the country. Billy's projects focused on a simple but innovative medical device that could help diagnose common illnesses in rural areas. When it was his turn to present, Billy spoke confidently about his project, explaining its purpose and how it could make a difference in communities like Abeni. The judges were impressed by his knowledge and passion. After a long day of presentations and deliberations, the winners were announced. Billy from Bright Future Academy, the announcer called out. Billy's heart leaped with joy as he walked up to receive his award. He looked out into the audience and saw Uncle Jacob beaming with pride. That evening, as they drove home, Billy thought about how far he had come. From the small village of Abeni to winning a national competition, it was a journey filled with hard work and support from those who believed in him. But Billy knew this was just the beginning. He had big dreams and a long road ahead. And with the love and support of his family, teachers, and friends, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Billy settled back into his routine at Bright Future Academy, he couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of purpose. Winning the national science competition had boosted his confidence, but it also made him more determined to achieve his dream of becoming a doctor. One day, while working on a new projects in the science lab, Mrs. Ajoa approached Billy with a thoughtful expression. Billy, there's a special program at the University for Young Scientists. It's a mentorship program where you can work alongside researchers and gain hands-on experience. I think you would benefit greatly from it. Billy's eyes lit up. That sounds amazing, Mrs. Ajoa. How do I apply? Mrs. Ajoa handed him a brochure. You need to write a personal statement and submit your recent achievements. The deadline is in 2 weeks. I believe you have a strong chance of being accepted. Excited by the opportunity, Billy spent the next few days crafting his application. He wrote passionately about his journey from Abeni to the city, his love for science, and his dream of improving healthcare in rural areas. Uncle Jacob and Mrs. Ajoa helped him refine his statement, and when he finally submitted it, he felt a mix of hope and nervousness. A few weeks later, Billy received an email from the university. He opened it with trembling hands and read the first line. Congratulations, Billy. You have been accepted into the Young Scientists Mentorship Program. Billy couldn't contain his excitement. He ran to Uncle Jacob and showed him the email. I got in. Uncle Jacob hugged him tightly. I knew you could do it, Billy. This is just the beginning. Make the most of this opportunity. The mentorship program began in the summer. Billy was paired with Dr. Ayo, a renowned researcher in medical technology. Dr. Ayo was impressed by Billy's curiosity and dedication. He took Billy under his wing, teaching him about the latest advancements in medical devices and diagnostics. One day, while working in the lab, Dr. Ayo asked Billy, "What inspires you to pursue a career in medicine?" Billy thought for a moment and replied, "My village, Abeni. People there don't have access to proper medical care. I want to change that. I want to bring healthcare to places where it's needed the most." Dr. Ayo nodded thoughtfully. That's a noble goal, Billy. Remember, innovation comes from understanding the real problems people face. Always stay connected to your roots. During his time in the program, Billy worked on various projects and learned about cutting-edge technologies. He also made new friends who shared his passion for science and medicine. They often discussed their dreams and aspirations, inspiring each other to aim higher. One afternoon, while Billy and his friends were having lunch, a thought struck him. What if we could create a mobile clinic that travels to rural areas, providing medical services and education? His friends were intrigued. Quame, who was also part of the program, said, "That's a great idea, Billy. We could design a compact, efficient system that includes basic diagnostic tools and telemedicine capabilities." Excited by the idea, they began sketching out plans and brainstorming solutions. They decided to present their concept to Dr. Ao, hoping for his guidance and support. Dr. Ao was impressed by their initiative and encouraged them to pursue the project. Over the next few months, Billy and his friends worked tirelessly on their mobile clinic concept. They faced many challenges, from technical difficulties to limited resources, but their determination never wavered. They sought advice from experts, applied for grants, and even organized fundraisers to support their project. One evening, while working late in the lab, Billy received a call from his mother, Susan. "Billy, how are you, my son? We miss you here in Abeni." Billy smiled, feeling a pang of homesickness. "I miss you too, Mama. I'm working on something that could help our village and many others like it. I promise I'll visit soon." Susan's voice was filled with pride. "I'm so proud of you, Billy. Keep following your dreams." As the project progressed, it gained attention from the university and local media. Billy and his team were invited to present their mobile clinic at a major science and technology conference. It was a huge opportunity, and they knew it could bring their vision closer to reality. On the day of the conference, Billy stood before a large audience, his heart pounding with anticipation. He took a deep breath and began his presentation, explaining the concept, design, and potential impact of their mobile clinic. The audience listened intently, and when he finished, they erupted in applause. After the presentation, several organizations approached Billy and his team, expressing interest in supporting their project. It was a dream come true, and they realized that their hard work was starting to pay off. Back at the university, Dr. Ao congratulated them. "You've done an incredible job, Billy. This is just the beginning. Keep pushing forward, and you'll achieve great things." Billy felt a sense of fulfillment and excitement for the future. He knew there were many challenges ahead, but he also knew he had the support and determination to overcome them. His journey from Abeni to the city had taught him the value of perseverance, and he was ready to continue his mission of bringing healthcare to those in need. Months turned into years as Billy and his team worked tirelessly to bring their mobile clinic project to life. They faced numerous challenges, from securing funding to navigating bureaucratic hurdles, but their determination never waned. With the support of Dr. Ao and several philanthropic organizations, they finally saw their vision take shape. The mobile clinic was a marvel of innovation. It was equipped with state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, telemedicine capabilities, and educational materials. The clinic was designed to be compact and efficient, able to travel to the most remote villages and provide essential medical services. The day of the mobile clinic's official launch arrived, and Billy felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The inaugural trip was to Abeni, the village where his dreams had begun. As the clinic made its way through the familiar roads, Billy couldn't help but reflect on his journey. From a poor student with tattered clothes to a young innovator bringing healthcare to his village, it had been an incredible journey. When the clinic arrived in Abeni, the entire village gathered to witness the event. Billy's mother, Susan, stood at the forefront, her eyes brimming with pride and tears. Ms. Melissa, the teacher who had given Billy his first set of books, was also there, smiling with immense pride. Billy stepped out of the clinic and addressed the crowd. "Today, we bring not just a mobile clinic, but hope. Hope that everyone, regardless of where they live, can have access to quality healthcare. This is just the beginning, and with your support, we can achieve so much more." The villagers cheered, and Billy's team began their work. They offered free check-ups, distributed medicines, and educated the villagers on health and hygiene. The impact was immediate and profound. People who had never seen a doctor before were receiving care, and lives were being transformed. As the sun began to set, Billy found a quiet moment to sit with his mother and Ms. Melissa. "I couldn't have done this without you," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. Susan hugged her son tightly. "You've made us all so proud, Billy." "Your father would be proud too," Ms. Melissa added. "You've always had a spark, Billy. I'm so glad you never gave up on your dreams." As the mobile clinic continued its journey to other villages, Billy's reputation as a young innovator grew. He was invited to speak at conferences, collaborate with international organizations, and even received offers to expand the project to other countries. Years later, Billy stood on a global stage, addressing a gathering of world leaders and health experts. "Innovation and determination can change the world," he said. "No matter where you come from, you can make a difference. I started with a small dream in a village called Abeni, and today we are transforming lives across continents." The audience gave him a standing ovation, but Billy's thoughts were back in Abeni with the people who had shaped his journey. He knew that his mission was far from over. There were still many challenges ahead, but he was ready to face them with the same determination that had brought him this far. And so, Billy's story became an inspiration to countless others. From a small village in Africa to the world stage, his journey was a testament to the power of dreams, perseverance, and the impact of kindness. The mobile clinic projects expanded, reaching more and more communities, and Billy continued to innovate, always driven by the desire to make the world a better place. In the end, Billy's story was not just about one boy's journey, but about the collective power of people coming together to create change. And as long as there were dreams to be realized and lives to be improved, Billy's legacy would live on, a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come.